What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, Duel commentary. I just had to record this match. As soon as I saw a blue card and it wasn't in the cloth, I was just like, okay, this is legit. Alright, so it's Dream Killer and 1277. And is that Lonely Traveler? 1077. So it looks like he has already started the Altier train. He went Castel. This card keeps holding that price of about 14 bucks. Does anybody notice that it hasn't gone down? All right, I think that's the I think that's Blizzard, right? Is he Blizzard or is he? Oh, he's Stratos. Okay, sorry. All right, so this dude is Stratos, and he's gonna discard Shadow straight for the Aqua Mirror, and okay, he's just gonna pass. I guess he felt like he probably just didn't have a way of summoning a Gishki, or he just didn't have a Gishki. So you see another Altier coming down. He'll obviously go for the third one. I mean, the good news is, well, I was going to say the good news is he can't really take a ton of damage because he used Altier's effect, so Castel automatically can't attack. But I'm thinking, okay, so I guess he's not taking any damage. I was thinking that he might go Daigusto Emerald, like but I guess if you go Daigusto Emerald, you're relying on back row. I mean, yeah, you get your Altiers back. I would have thought he would have attacked first and then gone into like Daigusto Emerald. That seems like the best play because, well, you give up. I guess you concede not having Alpha Nova, but you get to potentially get some good traps like Solemn Warning. Phoenix Chain. So he goes Rhapsody of Berserk instead. I mean, I don't think that that's a necessary card anymore. You guys can argue with me, but if I know I'm running an all rank 4 deck, I just don't see it anymore. I never thought Rhapsody of Berserk was a great card. Like, it was cool to get over like Leo and shit, but in general, it's just not that good of a card in my opinion. All right, so he activates Moray of Greed, and he'll get 3 new cards. Because, I mean, it's like, alright, you have to play Castel. You're going to play 2 Trevors. You're going to play Deltaros. You're going to play Diamond. That's, what, 5 cards right there. You're probably going to run Champion. I mean, Excalibur. I think this is Blizzard. Yeah, I think this is the Blizzard guy right here. If only this if this dude would have been a tuner, oh my god, that would have been real as shit. I think this guy is 3,200 attack. So, that's a cool thing because he kind of has his own little Altier. He kind of has his own little Altier plus, Altier thing going on. And he summoned Zelgagus, who, it's a really good card. Now, he can still, what's it called? He can still activate that effect, if I'm not mistaken. So, I think he's going to banish the mirror, and he's going to put the guy back in his hand. Okay. Not going to activate the effect. He just passed his turn. That wasn't the best. That probably wasn't how you wanted that to go down if you were Lonely Traveler. But then again, I guess, if you have Vega and you have other cards, it doesn't really matter. I just think he just should have went for Daigusto Emerald. Like, what's it called? Just didn't do anything there. Like, the Rhapsody of Berserk just didn't do anything. Either way, he's gonna attack for 3k. And now maybe he'll go for Daigusto Emerald. I don't understand how you could run S-Knights and not run that card. I'm trying to think of other amazing rank 4s that I would want to run. Dweller, Cowboy, okay, he goes Abyss Dweller. I'd still run 101. Silent Honor Art. I feel like that card just gets shit on from the player base. Like, people just don't think it's that good of a card. And I'm like, I think it's fantastic. Okay, so he activates. How many times does he use Gishki Abyss? Like, this Stratos dude, he has used this card, I believe, almost every single turn. And he gets Shadow, and he gets his Aqua Mirror. And chances are he's going to summon that motherfucker. Or he's going to summon that Zelgagus that he has in his hand. That's the thing about Gishki that's like, it's kind of sneaky. Once the deck gets rolling, it kind of has this crazy snowball effect. All right. So he tributes Tragodia. And I mean, if he activates and he hits a Gishki, I mean, he can essentially replace the Tragodia for free. So he's going to activate. Actually, my mistake. You just go plus anyway. you go plus super hard if it's a Gishki. Yeah, I'm lunching. All right, so now he just went plus super hard. He's finally going to get some damage in, unless there's like a Water Honest. But if there was a Water Honest, I'm pretty sure Dream Killer would be running it, and Lonely Traveler would not be. Alright, so he does some decent damage. The problem is, I don't understand how he's effectively going to play defense, because I don't think this deck runs any traps, for the most part. Like, I would think that the only traps that Dream Killer would run, and even consider running, would be, man, I don't know, like Vanity and Breakthrough Skill. Like, that'd be pretty much it. Okay, so he's going for Altair. The question will be simple. Will he go for Vega or Deneb? I thought he'd go for Vega and maybe try and go for Trevor, and that makes sense. We've only seen Lonely Traveler constantly recycle his own Deneb, so, you know, the odds, he has pretty good odds that he'd finally have another Deneb drawn or have a rotor or something like that. Because he's just been recycling the same Deneb over and over again. I guess eventually you'll draw into one. So, you know what? I don't know if Trevor actually solves this problem. Okay, so Trevor doesn't solve the problem. This is a problem for Deltaros. Deltaros will obviously pop Zilgagas, and then he'll just attack. Yeah, Trevor, you don't want to send that shit back to your opponent's hand. That's no good. So, he's able to do some good damage, and he's able to clear the board. He better hope that Zilgagas doesn't come down again. Otherwise, well, if he hits the effect, he'll just kill him. And I don't think that Lonely Traveler has any defense. And he does not, because he just passed. We know one of the cards in his hand is what's it called? One of the cards in his hand is, what's that guy's name? He just summoned the card Vega. Yeah, it's Vega. Alright, so he shuffled the Aquamarine back into his deck, and now he's going to activate Moray of Greed. He shows him both Zilgagas. Moray of Greed, super strong in this deck. I mean, not just because, obviously, the whole deck is water. Well, outside of the Tragodias. But the fact that he can just add the Zilgagas' back for free, and then he can activate Moray of Greed. Like, he has 4 cards, and, wow, I didn't even take into consideration he played Salvage. Salvage gets him, actually, it gets him Stratos and Blizzard. Like, it gets him Beast and Abyss. So, he has a really good chance of dropping a Zilgagas. So, he gets Vision. Alright. So, there's Blizzard. And he uses Blizzard to get a Shadow. And he's gonna go rank 4. Uh-oh, he might Castell him back. Okay. He's busting out the 101s. 101s for days. And now he's going to activate Vision's effect. He gets Soul Ogre. I'm not even gonna lie, I kind of have no idea what that one does. And now he's going to activate it. And oh wow, we just seen Gishki get it the fuck in. He was going to tribute Soul Ogre to pay for the ritual, basically. And the cool thing about Gishkis, and I guess Niklavs by default, since they're essentially like the same deck, is the fact that, you know, there is no Water Imprisoning Mirror. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't any like crazy floodgate card that really, really hurts him. I mean, I guess, you know, you have like the typical what's it called? Vanities, but Vanities just shuts down every deck that isn't Klee. And I guess you could say the one that I'm thinking of, Mistake, but I mean, so many decks would get hurt by running Mistake. It's like, I don't really know if, you know, if you're playing against Klee or you're playing, well, Klee would have to go Skill Train, but just besides the point. The point is, you know, a card like Mistake, you know, Klee can't run it, S-Knights can't run it. If I'm Sir Tellarknights, I definitely want to go first in this matchup, just because I think Alpha Nova is insanely good in this matchup. So, turn 1 Vega. This isn't good. Even if it's Deneb. Oh boy, it's not Deneb. That's even worse. Yeah, Una and Vega, not the greatest opening play because, I mean, yeah, you get your Deneb in the graveyard, but it's like, what's your follow-up? Unless you dump, like, you set 2 decent traps and then you activate Tsukiyomi, like Bujin Tsukiyomi, then it becomes pretty legitimate. So he's going to go Giant Hand. Obviously, Giant Hand stops the Gishki Stratos, so that's good. But if you have to use it on a ritual monster, that is really bad because that ritual monster is going to run over your Giant Hand regardless. And now Dream Killer makes mention of me. For some reason. For some reason. I'm watching the duel. Whoa, that guy's level 8. Okay. He traded it in. And he sets 3. I feel like he's going to set another card. Just because of the pause. Set 3, he's thinking about it. Or maybe not. Okay, set 3. Here's the thing. What traps did he run? I don't think we saw any trap. I mean, you know, he can be sided in like the floodgates and stuff, like vanities and whatnot. But just in general, it's not like, I don't think we saw a single trap. Now, personally, if I was him, I would just assume breakthrough skill. But it's like, actually, I don't even know. Breakthrough skill seems good. But against S-Knights, I don't know about that. Because it's like, what do you want to breakthrough skill in this deck? What really stops you? Alright, so he's able to drop Vega and Altier, which means Giant Hand can attack. Which he'll probably search another Altier, obviously, off of the Neb. This looks like a job for Deltaros. Well, I guess after attacking with both. Don't run into D-Prison or Mirror Force, God forbid. Yeah, I guess maybe if you had breakthrough skill against S-Knights, stopping those like in-turn call the haunted plays or something like that, I just wouldn't. They don't side any fiends or anything that you really care about. There's no wind in that deck, so it's like, do you really care? Alright, so Deltaro's going after some back row. I assume he won't hit an Artifact Sanctum. It's Reckless Greed. Okay. Now, it sucks because he had to kind of prematurely use it. Reckless Greed is one of those cards. Okay. And he's going to activate. I was going to say, Reckless Greed is one of those cards you always want to pretty much use after your draw phase just to maximize it. Ooh, that could be huge. Hitting the Vanity's Emptiness. I've actually seen Dream Killer struggle against Vanities in a game where I just watched a couple seconds of it. Alright, so he activates Vision. And he gets Zilgagas. I kind of think, like, I want to say, I guess it's too late to make the statement. And here comes Moray of Greed. See how good that play is? To just activate the fact that you can search Zilgagas, and then after you ritual summon it, you know, I think Salvage is really good because you got to think, all right, he can discard, he can get Zilgagas, he can discard. I think you can use Vision multiple times in a turn, and then you can just Moray of Greed and get new cards. Like that's really good because it makes Moray of Greed like super fast. But what I was saying is, did he pass turn? I think he has too many cards in his hand to pass turn. It looks like he has 7. Okay, he's using Beast, so he's using Blizzard. All right, so he's gonna negate it, and I mean Dream Killer had to kind of get it out of the way at some point. Now he's gonna activate the mirror. What's he tributing? Okay, once again tributing Tragodia. Can't salvage that back, and he's gonna activate the effect. Unfortunately, he doesn't have Giant Hand for that. All right, so he's gonna pay 1,000. He draws a card. It's a trade in. Oh man, if he's able to like trade it in and get more cards. Oh, I see what he's doing. Oh, that is nuts. Okay, so he adds Ogre back to his hand, and then he's gonna trade it in for new cards. That is pretty slick. I gotta admit, I like this supercharged Gishki deck. But let me make my point. My point was with Gishkis, it's like I always felt like they were good, but they were kind of like, it kind of was like Lightsworn syndrome. You know, like if you run into any type of heavy back row, it can be just kind of an issue. Because, you know, they had legitimate tools they have a Blizzard, they have a Stratos, they have a guy that pays for, you know, the entire summon. If you're building the deck like Dreamkiller, clearly you have other cards too. Like you have well, I'm talking like you can play trade-ins and you can make a really fast variant. And it's like, you know, I wish that Gishkis were like really, really good, but then it's like, is it really a point of wishing that now that we have Niklaus, which are going to probably be a tier 1 deck? So essentially I'm getting my wish. You know what I mean? Like Niklaus are just the evolution of Gishki. In fact, I think the lore even proves that. All right, so you see Lonely Traveler activating a bunch of effects. Deltaros died. Deltaros got Altier. Altier activated his effect. Whoa, okay. Oh, okay, he opts to use Regeki instead. I was kind of wondering why he wouldn't just simply attack the guy, but okay. Alright, so he activates 1 day apiece. Keep in mind, this is all under Reckless Greed. That was a hell of a play to be under Reckless. Because you gotta think, yeah, you give your opponent a card, so you kind of like take a neg. But in this situation, when you already have field presence, I mean, I guess he can make Deltaros and just pop. But that's, who plays 2 Deltaroses? Like, what can he has to kind of, I guess, go into the basic rank 4 pool. I'm talking like Castel and 101 and shit. Like, and I don't really think you want to Castel a Zilgagast, because pretty sure your opponent's gonna get that shit back. So he searches out Alsam. Like, you wouldn't Trevor your opponent here, because not only can you not do damage, but like, well, I guess he can still attack the monster. He just doesn't take any damage. Yeah, I was thinking you don't make Trevor here because you don't want Zilgagast back in your opponent's hand so they can just resummon that shit. Alright, I guess he does play double Deltaros. I would not play double Deltaros. It's a great card, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely a one-of. Like, before Trevor came out, maybe, but with Trevor and Diamond, like, both here, no way. Okay, there's Deltaros number 2. It's gonna be crazy to see the Star Seraphs and Sir Tellarknights. If they get Shockmaster back, oh my god, that deck will be crazy. All right, so Dreamkiller cannot draw, unfortunately. By the way, if Dreamkiller loses this match, I totally think he should choose second. Okay, so he's gonna activate his Stratos guy, Abyss. Oh, that's not gonna happen. Alpha Nova. And he'll be able to activate multiple effects. Now we might see, oh, he goes Alsam instead of Altier. Strange. Very strange. Now remember, he can take damage because the 1 day apiece effect is basically wore off. So both players are now able to take damage again. And you see him use Salvage. He's going for Vision. And he's going for Abyss. Obviously, Abyss ain't going to be normal summon this turn, because he already tried that and it didn't work. I just wonder if he has a legitimate play. If Lonely Traveler loses this game, he's going to look back at this play to summon that Alsam, and he's going to think, I probably shouldn't have done that. That was just, what was I thinking there? Because, I don't know, I felt like he could have had 2 monsters. He could have had board presence to protect his life points, and just, I don't know. Alright, so he gets Zilgagast. He activates another Salvage. That's the great thing. Salvage isn't once per turn, and you can just keep using it. And yeah, see, Vision isn't once per turn either, so the more he agrees and like the Salvage, he can do as many of those as he wants. Alright, so it looks like Dreamkiller is conceding that he lost this game. Although I personally wouldn't, like, I wouldn't necessarily believe that against somebody who plays 2 Trags, or somebody who plays Tragodia in general. Like, I wouldn't necessarily believe that shit. So, Lonely Traveler summons a second Alsham. Some people don't even like the first one, but, you know, hey, to each his own, right? Now, I think it's going to be interesting to see if Dreamkiller goes first or second. because, you know, I would think I want more cards, but then if you really think about it, having Zilgagast turn 1 against their Talon, like, how do they answer that? Like, your opponent basically has to have Vega or, like, Snatch Steal. Damn. And Lonely Traveler does have Vega. I'm not gonna lie, this dude has had Vega pretty much every, like, turn 1. And Dreamkiller opts to go second. So, looks like he's, well, it's pretty much a guarantee that he's gonna be fighting against, the Altair train, because against an open field, yeah, you pretty much just make Giant Hand in defense mode. Konami, please reprint this card. It's like not even that good anymore. The MST is real. Gets rid of Call of the Haunted, which could have set up a really big Deltaros or Trevor play. The question is, does he have enough ways to effectively bait out the guy and still be able to summon another guy? Okay, so it looks like he does. He's gonna trigger, or he's gonna summon Leviama. I've totally seen that in the lore, by the way. Using what's it called? Soul Ogre, and then put Soul Ogre back in his hand. He tries to activate the effect, and unfortunately, Giant Hand's just like, nope. Let me read this guy's effect, actually. Oh, okay. It's when you declare an attack, you get to draw 1 card, and if it's a Gishki, you get to look at 1 random card in your opponent's hand. That's not bad, especially with pretty good stats. Level 8. I guess all of, like, a bunch of the Gishkis are level 8. He is, and so is Soul Ogre. So I guess that's why you ran trade in, because he has, like, you know, 6 targets essentially if he's running 3 and 3. Okay, so it looks like he's gonna go rank 4, and this has pretty much just been the Deltaros show, to be honest. Like, just Deltaros all day, every day. And I don't think that that's gonna stop anytime soon. Deltaros is summoned. Deltaros pop. He could use an effect Veiler super badly. And 2,500 straight to the face. Okay. Now I wonder how he's gonna deal with Deltaros without triggering it. To me, it seems like he only has Zilgagast. I have no idea what this card is. I don't recognize it. Gishki Chain. What the hell? Oh, you look at the 3. I thought you draw 3. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, why has nobody been playing this card? Alright, so if there was a ritual spell or a ritual monster, you get to add it to your hand. And then you get to return the others in any choice that you want. That seems really cool. The question is, he seems to be running out of steam here. He doesn't have that Zilgagast to get him extra cards. He's gonna activate. Oh, whoa! Does that let you? Oh, okay. It shuffles him back into the deck. I thought that shit let you take control of it. I'm like, oh my goodness. All right, so he does big damage. Problem is, he's in top deck mode, and Lonely Traveler is not in top. Oh boy, Regeki. Icing on the cake, right? So now he's able to make Vega, the Altair train, and this is where power creep just kicks in. Where other decks just have floaters for days, your deck probably only has a couple of floaters. So he's able to attack for 2,900. And I don't even think I would exceed. I'd just leave my monsters on board. Just so that I can make an exceed for, I guess, any threat that might come my way. Yeah, I see no reason to exceed, honestly. Especially if I already have another Altair in my hand. Okay, he makes Rhapsody of Berserk and probably is going to equip the Altair. I guess he just wants the monsters in his graveyard or something. And you know what? I guess he's trying to limit the potential of his opponent top decking the Blizzard guy. He didn't equip them. Interesting. But with Dreamkiller only having 1 monster in hand, probably not going to work out. Because I'm willing to bet that might be like a Reckless Greed. He still fought hard in game 1. He's gonna activate the effect for no reason at all. I think he probably drop Alsham in the graveyard. All he has to do at this point is simply attack for 3,500. That'll close the game out. I mean, he could have technically attacked for what's it called? Just with Altier if he would have equipped it. Anyways, valiant effort by Dream Killer and Gishki, but so Tellarknights get the job done.